If you're ready for a new car that's designed to take you where you want to go, whenever you want to go, now's the time to find out all there is to know about the new Mazda CX-50, named an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus award winner. Save on your new Mazda right now at Team Mazda on Airline.
A sticky situation following the tragic deaths of 17-year-old Maggie Dunn and her best friend, 16-year-old Caroline Gill, in 2022, Brusly High School cheerleaders who were killed after an Addis police officer ran a red light in a pursuit of a suspect. Ward 2 Constable Ron Tetzel and Justice of the Peace Thomas Southon say they wanted to make their community a safer place. They plan to do that by enforcing the school speed zones near Lukeville Elementary on LA1, ultimately writing nearly 4,000 tickets in a 3-week stretch.
We've been looking for solutions to make this parish, and especially this stretch of highway, safer since the Gills and the Dunns unfortunately lost their children. We looked into several solutions, one being Opticom, where the lights change when pursuits are coming through, but I believe I quoted it out, it was $750,000 up front. None of the municipalities around here have the money to pay for that, but if you save one life, what is that one life worth? So we wanted to start a program where we could A, increase awareness, B, slow people down and make it safer for students, and C, use the funds to make the parish a better and safer place as well.
After Tetzel and Southon reached an agreement with Emergent, a company that finances the equipment and processes the tickets, they reached out to Chandler Smith, Superintendent of West Baton Rouge Parish School Systems.
They requested a meeting with us at the Brusly PD. We went there, met with him, both of them. They told us they wanted to enforce the school zones because there was an issue. They wanted our permission to install 2 camera poles. They told us they had talked to multiple groups and that everybody that they presented this to, all parties involved, because I really didn't even know how the constable's office how that even worked.
Ultimately, Tetzel's office signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or a MOU, with the school system's coordinator of school safety and security, but not with Smith or the school board. On October the 8th, Tetzel's office began issuing tickets near Lukeville Elementary with a handheld radar gun. Photos quickly began flooding social media, showing a man with a tripod, hat, and safety vest tracking cars while standing behind a metal box off the highway. Smith claims that when Tetzel first approached him about the MOU, he said Tetzel asked permission to install 2 camera poles in the school zone. Smith said he did not even know that tickets were being issued in early October because those poles never went up.
We assigned an MOU document agreeing to the 10%, but it didn't talk anything about implementation or enforcement or how they would implement the writing of tickets. I had no clue how any of that was going to be done.
And Smith said he found out about the tickets the same way many people in the area did, word of mouth.
I'd heard that he was hiding behind an electrical box. Somebody sent me that picture, but I knew the polls hadn't happened, so I didn't know if, was he testing the things? Was he sending out warning tickets? He never told us.
And as Smith's confusion with the agreement grew, so did the number of tickets issued with Tetzel's office writing.
About 500 per 2-hour school zone period. We did it 2 or 3 times a week, either northbound or southbound.
500 what?
Speeders captured.
500
captured in a 2-hour period.
There also was not much leeway for speeders.
And what is the speed limit?
In school zone, it's 35.
Okay.
So at 41 is the flag in the computer to mark a speeding vehicle. It doesn't record and capture it if they're going under that.
In response to Smith's claims, Tetzel said he told Smith that the enforcement would begin with the radar gun, not with the poles, because his office needed to generate enough funds to finance the camera poles from Emergent.
We felt that it was easier to use a handheld device with an officer on the side of the road clocking vehicles. Then as it progresses, we would be able to purchase cameras for the pole cameras for the other schools.
Smith said he never felt Tetzel explained that to him fully.
I told him that this is not at all what we agreed to, and he knows that. I talked with my safety and security coordinator who was in that same meeting. He and I both know that that's not what we all agreed to. I had my lawyers read that MOU that talks nothing about how the law is going to be implemented. All the MOU says is a disbursement of 10% to this group, that the company keeps a certain percentage, that the constable gets 50%, and our banking information, like the banking information. That's all that MOU was.
While Tetzel's office tracked nearly 4,000 speeding vehicles, tickets were mailed out to around 1,500 people. At $150 a ticket, that amounted to $250,000 in only 3 weeks. Tetzel's office stood to receive half of those funds, with 10% going to the school district and the rest going to Emergent.
What is your response to it being said this is a money grab?
It doesn't matter who writes a speeding ticket. If the sheriff's office writes a speeding ticket, guess what? They get the money for it. If a city writes a speeding ticket, they get the money for it. You know what's different is that they're not mandated to provide public safety with the funds they make from it. We are. They don't have to go and use it to pay for crime cameras or pursuit packages or anything else. They don't have to give any of their money to the school system.
On October 25th, Tetzel says that's when his office was told by the Louisiana Attorney General, Liz Murrill's office, to suspend operations while they investigated the legality of the tickets. In an interview with Murrill, she told Unfiltered with Kieran that her office is now in the process of figuring out how to return the money to people who paid those tickets, explaining that while Tetzel's office signed an agreement with a district employee, that agreement is not binding because there was no official resolution agreed to by the West Baton Rouge School Board.
A school board employee signed an agreement with a constable and a justice of the peace, and none of those people are authorized to do this. So, we said stop, and they did. And now we have said, keep the money and, hold the money in the account. Do not spend any of it. And we will continue to evaluate how we can get money back to people that paid the tickets.
She further clarified that without an official MOU between Tetzel and the school board, his office had no jurisdiction to begin issuing tickets.
It's very clear they had no authority to do what they were doing. I mean, there's no authority for them to have done what they were doing. What's continuing is our trying to obtain the information about where the bank accounts are, how much money is in them.
Murrill said her office is in the process now of accounting for all of those funds sent to Tetzel's office.
I may ask the legislative auditor to come in just so that they can, dot the I's and cross the T's from an audit perspective. But ultimately, my objective would be to make sure that anybody who paid a ticket is going to get a refund.
Murrill also said her office would be sending out guidance to other constable and justice of the peace offices to make sure they all understand the law, noting she also has concerns about companies like Emergent attempting to privatize speed enforcement, especially in small towns.
These companies come in and say, we can do this, you can do this, you just need to sign right here, and we're going to all make a lot of money, and it's good for you, it's good for the town, it's good for public safety, and, we want to help you. And, I think that if they follow the law, that's okay. But that's a big if.
Murrill added she does not believe anyone violated any laws and does not expect her office to pursue any criminal charges, but said her decision was cut and dry. As for Tetzel and Southon, they remain adamant that they only wanted to make their community a safer place.
The final goal of the program, as far as me and Ron, when we initially sat down and talked about this, was to make this safer. I've been here 20 years. When the Gills and Dunns suffered their loss on LA1, their daughters, I have daughters the same age. I never want to stand beside a wrecked car again with a dead child in it and have to tell their parents that.
Reporting in West Baton Rouge Parish with Unfiltered with Kieran, I'm Kieran Chawla.